Alright, what's going on today, YouTube? Welcome back to your favorite cyclist YouTube channel. This week, we're going to weigh some bikes and see how much they actually weigh. But before we get into today's video, if you are new to my channel, make sure you head down below, hit that subscribe button for me. If you already are subscribed, make sure you hit that bell icon right next to that. That way you get notified every time I upload. That way you don't miss any of this awesome cycling content on this channel. So like I said, today we're weighing some bikes. The last time we broke out our scale here was with the fat bike. When we rebuilt that, we were really checking what would lose weight, what would gain weight, and what kind of difference it would make to the fat bike, because we went through and essentially rebuilt the thing from the frame up. So last time we did that, I have never, it's been a long time if ever, that I've weighed my other bikes. So today we're going to weigh a few bikes and just figure out how much these things actually weigh and how much you're pedaling around with, and how much you can decrease that. And essentially we're looking at how much weight of bike you're carrying around with you. So we're gonna weigh a few bikes. Of course, we're gonna weigh the good old Superfly right up there. We're gonna weigh my daughter's racing BMX bike. We'll weigh the fat bike. We'll weigh the gravel bike. We'll weigh the road bike that's inside. And then we'll finish it off with kind of your old school mountain bike, steel mountain bike back there. So none of my bikes, I'll start with this, none of my bikes are necessarily lightweight. I can say that for a fact. None of them are lightweight. Nothing was built to be lightweight. Everything was built kind of with the purpose of standing up to time. If I can get out and ride it however I want to ride it, I'm not going to have any problems. So just know nothing is super lightweight in my collection of bikes. Nothing at all. Zero. Nothing. I don't even think I own. That's right. The only carbon fiber things I own are my bottle cages and my carbon togs on my mountain bike. That's it. So nothing carbon. These are your real world bike weights of bikes that, you know, realistically are something you can pick up and ride for yourself. So let's start with the gravel bike. That sounds pretty good. I don't remember last time I weighed the gravel bike. So let's roll the gravel bike up here. Let's get a weight on it. Let's take a look, see how our kind of weight is. I'll give it to you guys in pounds. I'll give it to you guys in kilograms as well, for those of you who want kilograms. 24.42 pounds. That's actually lighter than I thought it would be. 13.37 kilograms. That's honestly not bad for an aluminum, essentially gravel adventure bike. That's not bad. Under 30 pounds. I'm okay with that. That's actually not bad. For disc brakes, aluminum frame, big old 53 centimeter bars. That's not bad. I'm okay with this. It's got a bell on this thing. I mean, come on. It's got a bell. I mean, that adds weight. So that's actually not as bad as I thought it would be for my gravel bike. 30 pounds, under 30 pounds. Yeah, I'm cool with that. Let's weigh the fat bike, make myself feel bad, and the fat bike weighs a little bit more than this does and not much more. So I think this thing was like 35-ish pounds when I finished it last winter. We've changed a couple things. It's got different bars, and it's got different bar stem. It's got threadless conversion on here. And I put back the fat tubes. So I'm not sure how this is gonna weigh. So let's figure this out. Let's see how much we got here. See if we're still kind of close to that number, or if we've gone away from our 35. Yep, 37.18. Yeah, that definitely feels like 37 pounds. That thing's freaking heavy. So we did move away from our 35 pounds by 2 pounds. I'm betting it's mostly the tubes is why that's moved so far, because those fat tubes are freaking heavy. 16.73 kilograms. Whew. Let's go for, let's do the mountain bike next. Yeah, mountain bike, the Superfly. I'm really curious on that one. I think the last time I weighed that, it was single speed with no dropper post. It's been a long time. So let's grab the mountain bike. Let's weigh that one up next. All right, so good old Superfly here. So I would say, other than like my road bike, this bike's probably one of my lighter bikes. Let's find out if that's actually true or not. 32.54 pounds. That does not feel that heavy. This does not feel that heavy. Not even close. 14.71 kilograms. I am honestly surprised. This bike really doesn't feel that heavy. Out of all my bikes, this one and my road bike, besides for the road bikes, forget the road bike. Forget the road bike. Don't even count the road bike. This one feels lighter than the gravel bike. Maybe it's longer and that makes it feel, I don't know, that's weird. Huh. Let's make myself feel bad. Let's do my daughter's BMX bike, and then we'll do an old school mountain bike with steel mountain bike frame, and we'll go test the road bike last, because the road bike's the lightest one by far. Yeah, 16.3 pounds. I mean, this is a racing BMX bike. It is aluminum framed, but with the itty bitty skinny tires and lightweight components, Makes sense. 7.28 kilograms. Okay. I was gonna say, I think I've weighed this before and I knew it was freaking light. Because I weighed this versus her new pink bike. She rides around on the daily. So we're gonna do old Bessie up here. Oh, steel frame. Steel frame mountain bike from the 90s. It's got a 10-speed conversion, so it's a 3x10 drivetrain. Big fat 2.4-inch tires. This doesn't feel that heavy. That's the problem. I don't like how not heavy this feels now. Obviously, my self-calculations are wrong because I thought my mountain bike was pretty light, and it's not. So, 32.32. Gosh dang it. Okay, so for those of you, I'm gonna prove you guys wrong right now. Those of you who say that a steel bike is heavy, it's not. An old steel bike from the 90s is really not that heavy. This bike and my 29er mountain bike weigh almost the same, which makes no sense. It's 26-inch, full steel, steel wheels. It's got aluminum bars. But this weighs the same as my mountain bike. I mean, I guess it gives me something as I build a freaking good 90s mountain bike, but I don't build a good modern mountain bike, I guess. Man. Okay. Interesting. 14.9. I'm not sure what to give credit to. To give credit to me for building a solid 90s mountain bike that weighs as much as my mountain bike. Obviously it doesn't have a suspension fork. There we go, we learned something through weighing bikes today. A steel 26-inch mountain bike of a decent quality brand, this is a Trek, from the 90s, isn't that heavy versus a 10-year-old 29er mountain bike, hardtail. They really aren't that heavy. I want to pull my wife's aerial down. We're going to do that one because I just need to know. That bike feels the heaviest out of every single bike I own. I need to know how heavy that thing is. Then we'll go do the road bike. I just need to know how heavy that hybrid is because I have to carry that bike around and lift that bike up on racks and lift it down from there. So we're gonna do that one, then we'll do the road bike, and then we'll close off with our final thoughts, what we think of bike weights. All right, so we got the aerial, size small, suspension fork, rear rack. If I'm wrong on this bike is not the heaviest one in my fleet, I'm gonna be upset. This bike feels by far the heaviest to pick up. 34.2. How? Is it just because it's lopsided? This bike feels so heavy, but it's less than my fat bike. Math doesn't make sense anymore. 15.52 kilograms. What is life? Doesn't make any sense. Alright, let's grab the road bike. The road bike's gonna be light. I know that for a fact. It better freaking be light. Alright, I'm giving this bike every disadvantage that I can. It's got a trainer wheel and trainer tire on it. It's even got this trainer sweat protector here. And it's got my sensor on there too. Please don't be the lightest. I think it is. 22.48. So it's got a good 10 pounds on my mountain bike. 10.21 kilograms. Okay, I think we all kind of knew the road bike would be the lightest one by far. Alright, let me go shove this back on the trainer and then close out my thoughts of what we learned today from weighing bikes and crying some. Alright, so we weighed all the main bikes in the fleet, I guess you could say, and what was the point of all of this? And that's a good question. That's a good question. What did we learn from this? I guess what I learned from weighing my bikes is all these bikes are actually very close in weight. They're all within, other than my road bike. We're not going to count the road bike because that's just an outlier because it's a road bike. Every other bike I own is within about 5 pounds of itself, of another one. So most of my bikes I ride all the time are actually pretty close in weight, closer than I thought they would be. I am very curious why the ones, especially like my wife's Ariel, why that bike feels so heavy. I'm wondering if the weight balance on that bike is just like off and it's just like so front heavy because of the fork that it weighs way more in the front than the back. Very possible, could be the case. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case, but that's very possible that could be the reason why. Because the rest of my bikes, especially since that bike weighs about as much as my fat bike feels very balanced. Like you pick it up and it feels very, the weight feels very even between it. Versus her bike, the Ariel, it does not feel equal between anything. It feels just heavy, especially in the front, it feels heavy. So maybe the weight balance just isn't equal on those versus a lot of my other bikes, it's more equal. And that's why they don't feel as heavy, is the weight balance is just more equal. So when you pick it up, you feel the same weight on the back as you do the front. Now that we know everything is pretty close in weight, and some of the things like my mountain bike that I felt like was going to be one of the lighter ones, it's actually the third lightest one. And it's not as light as I thought it was. Maybe that's because of the weight balance. Like it feels really light on the back, and it's just a little more heavy on the front, so it feels really light. I don't know. Interesting thought. Let me know what you guys think. I think it was interesting to weigh at least the main bikes, and that gives you guys an idea of, you know, just a normal built bike or a normal original bike, what they would weigh, kind of what you're looking at weight-wise on these basic bikes that you can either build yourself or buy from the store original and do upgrades to. You can see that some things do make a difference on a bike and some things don't really make a difference at all. So let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. I want to hear what you guys think. What do you think about the bike weights? What do you think about the bikes that supposedly feel heavier but they're actually lighter than you think they were? Or they're the same weight as a big tire fat bike? Let me know your thoughts. If you learned something today or at least found the video semi-entertaining, give this video a big thumbs up. Appreciate the support. Any comments or questions, let me know down in the comment section below. Love talking to you guys. Love answering any questions you guys have. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching today.